He was talking about how much he loves his new girlfriend, and I talked about how I was getting over my breakup. So that was So hey guys, welcome back to the channel. First off, thank you for the 60 new subscribers since my last video. I put a lot of effort into the scripting, filming, and editing of these videos. So yeah, if you're new here, I'd really appreciate it if you consider subscribing. And yeah, I guess yeah, talking to the camera has become a little bit easier. Yeah, it's kind of like you're talking to no one, but you're also talking to everyone at the same time. So yeah, it's a weird feeling, but it is getting a little bit easier. So when I think of college YouTubers who give advice, I think of them as like way up here, but I'm just the average student who just picked up a camera and decided to start a YouTube channel. But now that I've finished my major and gone through the whole undergrad experience, I think it's time for me to offer a few tips that I've accumulated along the way to, I guess, help enrich your undergrad experience while also being happy and having a great time. So yeah, let's get on with the video. So I guess my first piece of advice is take a class that you're interested in. So you're paying a large sum of money to attend your university, and why not sacrifice a few credits and get your money's worth by trying just a class that's super interesting? So I know a lot of people who take a class because they think it's super interesting, but in reality, they were just taking it to suffice a credit or a requirement, and it just seemed the least boring out of the options that they had. But I know a lot of you guys can't fit some of the classes into your schedule, but if you can, then definitely try it out. And I guess if you can't handle that course along with your other heavier course load, then you can always drop that course and pick it up along another time throughout your path, or at least you can say you tried it out and you got that little bit of experience, which is cool. So all these pieces of advice I'm going to link back into my own personal experiences. So as a lot of you may know, I took glass blowing for my last semester at Tulane University, and I gotta say it was probably one of the best decisions I've ever done. I could have used that extra credit to finish my capstone, but I really wanted to have this enriching last semester at Tulane and kind of enhance my artistic mentality, so I decided to do glass instead. After talking to a lot of upperclassmen in my program, they said don't take the class. In fact, the Dean of Admissions of Tulane University School of Medicine also suggests not taking the class because you have the off chance of burning your fingertips. But after taking a few intro classes and trying it out, I learned that you have to be pretty dumb or have no common sense in order to burn your fingertips. But yeah, it's a very safe class as long as you're smart and you're following procedure. And yeah, I ended up having so many of these art projects that I gave out. And when else in my life am I gonna be able to work with molten glass and shape it into something beautiful? So yeah, probably one of the best decisions I've ever done. And yeah, I was told not to, but I decided anyways, and it ended up being very enriching to my undergrad experience. Okay, so the second piece of advice that I came up with is do things that you want to do. So dancing. I'm not a dancer and I have zero experience going into it, but I guess when I was looking into colleges and seeing all these promo videos, I saw all these dance teams just killing it on the dance floor, and I thought in the back of my mind, wow, that'd be something really cool to try out in college. So yeah, I see all these people doing like backflips and other stuff on the stage. Everyone's in sync, and I wanted to do that. I wanted to do a backflip on stage, and after several hours and several practices and just practicing that backflip a lot on hard ground, eventually at the end of, I think it was like 3 months of practicing, I ended up getting to do a backflip on stage, which was just a super memorable experience. And I also got to meet all these awesome people along the way who are much better dancers than I am. Granted, I only did one dance out of 5, and then these other people did like 3, 4 dances instead. So yeah, it was a great learning experience, and if I can do it in the future, I definitely will do it again. I guess another experience that I really wanted to do was I wanted to start a YouTube channel. Like ever since I was a young boy, since I was like 12, I think, I started making videos, and I thought to myself, wow, college is definitely the time to try new things and do things that you want to do. So I started my own YouTube channel, and I guess I'm pretty camera shy. I mean, you know how hard it is to talk to the camera, especially in front of other people. Like holding that selfie stick and skateboarding through campus, that's just super awkward. But I just wanted to create this time capsule. I wanted to create all these videos of my undergrad experience for my last semester, and yeah, my semester ended up getting cut short, but now I guess I have all these videos to look back on to remember how awesome I had at Tulane. So yeah, I also wanted to share with other prospective students because there was nothing on YouTube of like a day in the life of a Tulane University student. So yeah, it's been a great time. So definitely do things that you want to do and don't let anything hold you back. So my third piece of advice is don't do things that you don't want to do. So yeah, my freshman year, I did a lot of things. I packed every single hour of every single day to kind of do an activity, and yeah, I definitely stretched myself a little bit too thin. And yeah, I guess that's not necessarily a bad thing, because then you could try out a whole bunch of things and try figuring out what you're passionate about. But my issue was a lot of the leadership positions and a lot of the activities that I did was, I guess, just resume boosting. And since I'm already in medical school, I don't know why I decided to pursue all of these things, when in reality, there's so many other activities out there that were out there for pure enjoyment. Yeah, I was thinking to myself, like, what's the point in boosting my resume? And the whole point of my program is to enjoy my undergrad experience and kind of give back to the New Orleans community and just have a great time and just try figuring out what things I'm passionate about. So with that being said, many of the activities that I did, they were great for building leadership, but I didn't really feel like I was receiving a lot of enjoyment in these activities. I mean, they look good on paper, but in reality, I felt like I wasn't putting my time in, places that I wanted to put my time in. So during the summer before my sophomore year, I sat down, I just thought to myself, what activities am I going to do my next year? Like, am I going to continue these leadership positions, build my way up? Or am I going to just drop everything that didn't make me happy and pursue things, try new things that I have interest in? So I decided the latter decision, and I joined the dance team. I got a lot more involved with the Asian American Student Union and the Vietnamese Association. I joined a new intramurals team, which was just an awesome experience, and the quality of my undergraduate experience just skyrocketed my second year after I dropped everything that didn't make me happy, and I did things that I wanted to do, and I didn't do things that I didn't want to do. Okay, my fourth piece of advice is if you don't have time, then make time. So you have 24 hours in a day and 168 hours in a week, but you only have a limited amount of time of your undergrad experience. I mean, yeah, you're supposed to get 8 hours of sleep every night, but honestly, do most college students get 8 hours of sleep a night? Yeah, not really. So if you haven't watched my day in my life video, that actually is a pretty typical day in my life. I literally pack every single hour of my day with something to do. So yeah, after my last class of the day, I had a meeting at I think like 5:15, 5:30 or something like that, and I had this like 4-hour time frame in my day. Yeah, I decided to go to the zoo. I volunteered at the zoo, and that is just such an enriching experience, and I guess that's how I want to spend my time. I was tired that day. I could have taken a nap, I could have gotten some more homework done, but no, I packed that last hour of my day. So yeah, if you don't have time, then make time for things that you want to do. So when you get to college, you'll soon realize that naps are what help you get through the day. That's what helps you survive in college. A lot of times people say that sleep is for the weak, and I definitely think that's true. Many times college students stay up to 2 a.m. just, playing video games, they're on their phones. But the problem is that they wake up at 10 a.m. There's all that wasted daylight, there's all that wasted time in the day. The issue is that we have so much unstructured time in college that we just don't know what to do with it. So don't get me wrong, I did have a lot of those nights where I was studying till midnight, sometimes 2 a.m., but I always made time for that workout in the morning. Yeah, you can watch all these videos of all these other college YouTubers who work out at like 4:30, 6 a.m. every day. To me, I find that very unreasonable, especially when you're taking a huge course load. But I thought that working out at 6:30 or 7 a.m. is definitely more reasonable. So I always made time for that workout. It definitely sets the tone for the day, and you don't really have to rush. You kind of enjoy your time, and you can eat breakfast. A lot of people say, oh, I don't have time for breakfast. Well, if you wake up early, just like 30 minutes earlier, then you definitely have time for breakfast. So before I met MJ, I would wake up at, I think it was like 9:30, 9:50, just right before my 10 a.m. class, and it just was not a productive lifestyle. But after I started working out with them in the morning, my quality of life just drastically improved. It's super hard to explain, but my posture improved. I was just more mentally aware. I was just feeling healthier and just happier overall. So yeah, definitely make time to wake up a little bit earlier, get that breakfast, and possibly work out. So I think one thing that I do well is I definitely plan ahead and I make time earlier on. So sometimes I have intramural games the day before, or sometimes a few days before a huge exam. But I would always make time to go to those intramural games. So yeah, the day before organic chemistry exams, I would go to my intramural game the night before, which is, I guess most people would think is stressful, but just intramurals is what made me happy. So I guess one example is it was a Sunday, and I'm studying in the library on the 4th floor, and I get a phone call from Jessica, and she's like, hey, we need some more players for the beach volleyball game. Can you come? And I actually had a big exam coming up, and I had an intramural soccer game later that day, so I was planning on just skipping the volleyball game so I could go to soccer. But I decided, yeah, I can make some time. I went. I skateboarded like halfway across campus to get from the library all the way to the beach volleyball court, and I ended up having just a great time, enjoying the awesome weather and sharing a few laughs along the way. And little did I know that that would be my last volleyball game before Tulane would cancel intramurals and cancel classes. All right, so Sunday afternoon, I was studying in the library all morning. Then I get a phone call from Jessica saying that they're short on players. So yeah, I guess I'm playing some beach volleyball this afternoon. Then later I have a soccer game, which is gonna be interesting. And I'm behind on a lot of stuff, but yeah, it's gonna be great. I definitely live with no regrets. Yeah, I did pretty well on the exam too, so everything worked out in the end. Even though I was super stressed, I made time and just all worked out in the end. My 5th piece of advice is work out. So the Riley Recreation Center is on campus, and it's not very far from the dorms. It's literally a 5-minute walk, so there's literally no excuse for you to not work out. Working out definitely improves your mental health as well as your physical health. The freshman 15 is not fake. A lot of college students do go and they lose their routine. It's pretty dangerous because their mental health as well as their physical health will decline. Yeah, it's very important to work out. I can't stress that enough. Audubon Park is just across the street, so you can just take a nice stroll, enjoy nature, kind of see the birds and stuff, which is great. So yeah, there's literally no excuse to get outside and just work out maybe like 3 to 5 times, maybe every day. So yeah, definitely work out. So my last and I think most important piece of advice, I kind of jumbled. It's 3 in 1, and I kind of collaborated with MJ to kind of come up with these. But yeah, the 3 are say yes, go first, and approach people with love. So say yes. So I find this just an awesome, funny story, but I was watching this movie called Yes Man with Jim Carrey, where essentially his character says no to everything, and then eventually he starts saying yes to everything, and he just meets these crazy people, has these crazy experiences, and his quality of life just goes through the roof. And it's a great movie. Highly suggest checking it out. Well, I decided to adopt that mentality, and a lot of my friends know this, but I said yes to everything my second semester of college. I don't suggest anyone else doing that, but just keep this in the back of your mind. But I said yes to everything as long as it didn't harm myself, harm another person, or if I had a direct time conflict with the event or the activity. So yeah, I guess I can go through a few examples. So the day after I watched Yes Man, I was sitting in bed. I can't remember what night it was, but it was 11 p.m. and I was just ready to go to sleep. I showered, I was in my pajamas, and then I get a phone call from Sham. And Sham's like, hey, you wanna go out tonight? And I was thinking, oh man, I'm in bed. I was literally about to go to sleep. Yes, I'd like to go out. Let's go, Sham, let's do it. So I went out, and yeah, we tried getting to one party, couldn't get in. We tried going to a second party, couldn't get in. I was just ready to give up. I was a little frustrated that night, and I was like, should have just stayed indoors. And then the third party that we tried getting in, we got in, and we ended up having a great time. It was I can't even explain, but I was just so happy that I went out that night, had a great time. And if I wouldn't have said yes, then I wouldn't have had a cool experience. So yeah, that's just one example. Let's move on to the next. So this was, I believe, a Wednesday. I had classes literally from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. So what is it, 6 hours straight of classes. Super tired, I was just ready to go to sleep. And then I get a text from MJ, and he's like, you wanna go to running club? I just wanted to take a nap, honestly. I responded with, yeah, what time? He's like, in 30 minutes. So I went to running club. Yeah, and we ran 4 miles. I was super exhausted, but I had just a great time. MJ and I had a super cool and deep conversation. He was talking about how much he loves his new girlfriend, and I talked about how I was getting over my breakup. So that was that was a great conversation. So not only did we strengthen our friendship during that running club meeting, but also if you fast forward 1 month, MJ invites me to a running club party, and normally I'd be like really uncomfortable, but I was like, yeah, let's go. And the cool thing was, I knew like half the people there because I went to running club the month before, so I was definitely a lot more comfortable. And if I wouldn't have said yes to going to the running club the month earlier, then I wouldn't have been invited to this party, and I wouldn't have known all these people. So it was just crazy how many interactions just overlap later on, and you'll just run into so many people through the weirdest experiences. So definitely say yes to opportunities that come your way, and you don't know who you're gonna meet, and you're not gonna know what's gonna come out of it. So yeah, the first part is say yes. All right, so the second part to that is go first. So after your freshman year, a lot of people's friend groups are just they're starting to form, and people are a lot more shy to branch out and meet more people. So my sophomore year, I kind of realized that going first is how you meet new people. Oftentimes people want to meet you, but they're just too shy. And if you're too shy to meet them as well, then that interaction is just never gonna happen. So you're gonna have to take the initiative to go first, to go say hi, and just get out of your comfort zone. The worst thing that can happen is you're not friends with them, I guess. Yeah, so go first, and the craziest relationships will form out of that. So go first, get out of your comfort zone, and try meeting new people. And I can't stress enough that most of the time they won't go first, and you really want to. So yeah. So the third part to my final piece of advice is approach people with love. Yeah, if you're nice to people, people will be nice back to you. So I was eating breakfast with one of my friends, and one of the Sodexo staff came up and hugged her, and she's like, "This is my child." And I was just like in utter shock, like how can you be such good friends with one of the Sodexo servers. And then I said, you know what? I'm gonna try this out. So you can kind of see my other videos where I try talking to the custodian of the Greenbaum Residence Hall. Her name's Ilda, and I just wish that I talked to her earlier. I could have strengthened my Spanish, and she's just a nice woman. She's great to talk to and super helpful, and she's keeps the place so clean. She's just an amazing woman, and I just wish that I talked to her a little bit more. Also, when I went to the dining hall, I tried sparking up conversations with Cassandra and Pam, who are also two Sodexo servers, and we ended up having such great conversations, and I got to know a little bit more about them. And not only did they brighten my day, but I brightened their day, and it was just a great reciprocal, mutualistic. Okay, this is the biology part of me talking, but it was just a great conversation. So yeah, we would have short conversations every time I'd see them in the dining hall. And yeah, pro tip, if you know them and they know you, and if the Sodexo servers like you, then whenever you ask for a little bit extra food, then they hit you up. So I guess, yeah, approach people with love and it'll come back to you. So to kind of recap this video, so the first piece of advice was take classes that you're genuinely interested in taking, then do things that you want to do, don't do things that you don't want to do. If you don't have time, then make time. Work out and say yes, go first, and approach people with love. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah, these were just, I guess, pieces of advice that I found helpful that I realized after my undergrad experience. I'm definitely going to put together a video entitled What I Wish I Knew Before Going to College, but yeah, I guess I could add a little bit more advice into that. But if you have any questions, definitely comment them down below and I'll be happy to answer them. And drop a like if you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.